At the mention of Amaka, Madame Rose's face grew pale. Her voice was barely more than a breath. She glanced behind the teacher, confused. Madame Rose's nails almost gave out, but she held herself up by gripping the table. Her heart was heavy. She realized that in her busyness, she had not noticed the hidden snake in her home, the danger that had quietly crept in. Once upon a time, in a small peaceful village in Africa, there lived a woman known for her strength and sacrifice, Madame Rose. She was a market woman, a mother, a hustler in her own right. Every morning before the first rooster crowed, she would tie her wrapper, carry her basket, and set out to the market, her hands full, her heart even fuller, for all she did for her little girl, Amara. Amara was a sweet little girl. She laughed like the breeze on banana leaves, her joy echoing through the village like bird song at dawn. She was curious, bright, and gentle, too gentle for the kind of word that often hides shadow in plain sight. Amara's father was a trader who wandered far beyond the rivers and hills. His returns were like the rain in dry season, rare but deeply hoped for. So Madame Rose was left to carry the weight of home and hustle alone, and because she wanted the very best for her child, even in her absence, she made a decision. She brought someone in her home. Her name was Amaka. She was a quiet girl from a nearby village, a teenager with a calm voice and eyes that seemed shy but sharp. Madame Rose's neighbors noticed how respectful Amaka was. She helped with chores, she smiled politely, and most importantly, she watched Amara while Madame Rose worked. But as they say in our village, not all that sits quietly under the tree comes in peace. At first, Amaka was kind. She helped Amara with homework, combed her hair, and told her bedtime stories. But one day something changed. Amaka began to invite Amara into her room after school, saying, "Come, let's play a new game." Amara, young and innocent, thought it would be 10-10 or who is in the garden. But no, the games were strange, too strange. They were not for children, they were not for anyone. They were games that made Amara's spirit shrink and her laughter disappear. And every time Amaka would say, "Shh, don't tell anyone. This is our little secret." Every single day, Amaka would smile, serve her food, and whisper, "After you eat, we'll play our game. Don't forget the rules." And little by little, the joy in Amara's eyes dimmed. She stopped playing with the village children. She spoke less. She smiled even less. One day, she tried to tell her mother, "Mama, there is something I want to say." But Madame Rose was rushing out the door with her basket, replying, "Not now, my child. Mama is late." Oh, if only she knew the weight those little lips carried. The final straw came at school. One of Amara's classmates told their teacher, "Auntie, Amara taught us a strange game. We don't like it." The teacher, wise and observant, knew something was wrong. She called Amara gently, knelt before her, and asked, "Who taught you this game, my dear?" Amara's eyes welled with tears. Her voice was barely more than a whisper. It was Amaka at home. The teacher's heart sank. She knew this was no child's tale. She sent for Madame Rose. When Madame Rose arrived and heard the truth, everything stopped. Her world crumbled in silence. The same girl she trusted, the same girl she fed, had become a shadow in her home, and Madame Rose realized something that shook her to the core. In my quest to give my child a better life, I left her open to the very harm I thought I was avoiding. That the same day she went home, she packed Amaka's things respectfully and told her, "Your time with us is over." Then she held her daughter tightly like never before and said, "I am sorry, Amara. Mama is here now, and I will never be too busy to listen to you again." Dear viewers, this story isn't just about Madame Rose. It's about us, about every parent, every guardian, every uncle and auntie who brings someone into their home. It's a reminder that smiles can be masks, that some helpers are hidden snakes, children don't always shout their pain. Sometimes they whisper it in drawing, in silence, in games they shouldn't know. So today, let us remember not everyone who says, "Let me help," truly wants to help. Listen to your children, even when you are tired, especially when they whisper. Be present. Your presence is their protection. It's better to struggle a little and raise your child with your own hands than to trust blindly and regret deeply. Because sometimes the most dangerous snake doesn't hiss, it smiles.